thanks to Dr. Prasanna, because I think he made my job easier. So I'll be just shifting my gears from his talk, because my talk will be probably in a continuation with this. This is, I mean, what we say is an applying technology in COVID times. If you see that we have what he said is also, we believe that, you want to have a minimum patient interaction. And then patient wants to spend less time in the hospital, and we also want that patient should not spend time in the hospital. And so that's why, you don't need a patient to dilate, and, patient has to wait, or you have to call in a patient again for the dilated fundus. And you can just look at the fundus, and then, you can just come to the diagnosis. Now, just a sec. Next. Yeah. So, we have an object assessment, like, you are not confused whether it's 3 bars or 4 bars. So you get a proper diagnosis with that. And you have a prospective documentation of a progressive disease. As Dr. Prasanna said, like, you have a patient that you're seeing today, you taken a fundus photograph, or you taken a disc photograph, and then, you want to follow up and see what the changes that it's having. And also it's automated, there's no rocket science, anyone can do that. The first day intern came to me as joined, and when I told him, she could do the imaging immediately. So it's very easy to do that. And it's it's lace paper, eco-friendly, so you don't need to give prints. And as he's said, and we also follow that, we send reports via mail, and you can access images from any station in your hospital. So I almost about 50 computers in my hospital. So wherever I go, I just see there. Like I'm sitting, suppose at a topography, and I want to see that patient over there. I can access the patient over there. So what's in the workflow? The patient comes in an optometrist stone preliminary, and then he does that. And if he sees the vision is not improving, or if it's then, and after that the patient directly goes to the imaging. We do a fundus photography, and after that, then if you find any changes, then we do a counseling within a patient, that whether you need some other investigations for that, and then we subject that patient for an investigations. And after investigation, with all the reports in our EMR, all the images are connected within EMR, and then the patient is seen by a doctor. So this is how we say as the workflow. And so what's an image quality parameters? If I say that if I see an image, what I'm going to see that, it has to be in a sharp, clear, and the resolution has to be very good. And so it also has a color fidelity, what is called a saturation. So that's what we call as a true color. And also the exposure should not be under and over. So it automatically decides for that. So it's not in a manual where you increase the flash. Like I also have a Canon camera. So in that, once you take a photograph, then you increase the illumination. Increase the flash intensity, then you reduce the flash intensity. Where you don't have to do anything, and anybody can capture an image. So, and second, the important thing is what I'm seeing on a slit lamp, will I be able to see that into that fundus image? And also, it also has a wow factor for an patients. So when I talk about the yield of information, so as we talked about the image quality, so we see that it's sharp, it's clear, and has a very good resolution. It's in a true color, but I see on a slit time within a 90D. And then how much time is taken? It hardly takes any time. As you said, it takes 30 seconds. And the saturation, if you see that, you can see all clear. And when you increase the size of an image, or you zoom the image, you don't lose any of the quality of the image, or pixelation of an image. And as in a diagnostic tool, as I said, that will I see what I wanted to see? Like this is a patient who came to us, and then he had a history of trauma. So the fundus are looking that, but then when I took this photograph, at that time we realized that he had a concussive retina and also a little hemorrhage inferiorly. So this is without doing anything, the patient you can see, and then you can talk to the patient, and then So you get a lot of knowledge also along with this. Like, I mean, you see sometimes you see the disease, I mean, the images where you start thinking that, I mean, this is where you want to share with all your colleagues, and so this is the knowledge that you get with that. And also it improves your understanding of a disease, that whether this has an edema, this does not have an edema. If you see the, it's a quality of that image is so good that you can see, I mean, you can see in the macular edema over here, and then you can just send the patient for an OCT, see an OCT, then talk to the patient that you need an intravital injections, and the management becomes easy. So this is how you counsel the patient, and then this is then a patient that who came to me within a just an a said that I cannot see in a superior part of my vision, and when I took an image, you can see a retinal detachment. Then it becomes very easy. They tell a patient that you have a detachment, you need a surgery, and next day we operated this patient. So this is, I mean, how you counsel within a patient. There's a patient who, I mean, whom we see about last week, and then talk to the patient that you have a hemorrhage, you need an YAG hyalotomy if you want to immediately get an vision. We did a YAG hyalotomy, and then patient got an vision. Then, I mean, as the document progression, like as Dr. Satyan is here, Dr. Prasanna said, he doesn't, and I also do a lot of glaucoma practice. So I'll just share a couple of cases where this is a patient whose pressure was little on the borderline, and when we saw the disc, and the disc showed as in a disparity. So look at the left eye had a large cup, and the right eye had a small cup. So if you see a disparity on, I mean, even the optometrist who sees a disc, so we have a protocol. So if you have a disc disparity, so you immediately counsel the patient for a perimetry and an OCT. So when we, I mean, saw that there was a difference into this, did a perimetry, the perimetry was normal. So we thought probably it's a physiological variation of this. But when we did an OCT and realized that no, I mean, patient has a problem in a periperimetric glaucoma. So this is, I mean, how you come to a diagnosis of a patient, where you counsel the patient, convince the patient that you need a treatment to prevent the further deterioration of a vision. This is that Dr. Satyan said, my first camera was on a DRS. So this is also my first camera DRS, and now I have got an iodine angio. And so here also you see a disparity, and then we did a perimetry. Perimetry showed some changes in the right eye, but when we did an OCT confirmed our diagnosis. So this is, I mean, it helps you that, I mean, you want to do that, and then you want to diagnose on a patient, counsel the patient, and then treat the patient. So this is just because of one instrument, you can come to I mean, from a diagnosis to a treatment, including the counseling. So this is in summary. I'll say that, I mean, this is one of a video that we made on iodine. We run this in our OPD counseling. The advantage of this has happened that when the patient sees, they come and ask you that, I mean, what is this? How you see this retina? And then we tell them, okay, this is that image which was taken on this. So this is all those images that you're seeing that we have seen on this. And then the patient, they know that, and you have so many of a diagnosis which you can see only with a fundus imaging. So this is just in a 1-minute video, and just continue and see that. And this is how, as you said, through cataract also you can see an images, through vitreous hemorrhages you can see the image, and glaucoma patients, glaucoma suspects, you see on a disc, and then do an OCT and then a perimetry. And if we see a patient has an optic nerve diseases, then we subject this to the advanced diabetic retinopathy. So I mean, age-related maculopathy. So we see this, and after that we did an OCT of this patient, had a macular thickness of 110 microns. So and retinal detachment, as said that we did this and then counsel the patients. Posterior staphyloma. So and the biggest advantage that I have realized is the epiretinal membrane resolution is so good that you look at that, and then you can then do an OCT, and then you can see that elevation of that. This is an RVOs. I'll just fast forward that. I'm just done with that. Yeah, it's over. So this is how how we run this in our OPD, and then this also has given this has given us an advantage of getting a more use of the IDON. And today if I say that can I work without this, I'll say no. Sometimes it happens that we take an image, do an OCT, and then we understand, okay, close this.